6 camouflage forts were constructed in the early 1900s and manned during World War II to protect the Golden Gate from ship and sub-attack. Each was equipped with batteries of disappearing guns.
Hi, I'm Patrick Doyle, and I'm at Fort Barry crossing Golden Gate Bridge. This is one of 6 forts dug in around the bay, and each fort is made up of a number of big gun batteries. Scary. Military sites like this have always been hotbeds of paranormal activity. Of course, the most famous is Gettysburg, which is 3,000 miles east of here. I've seen a lot of videos and photos taken on the battlefield, and they're incredible and hard to disprove. But I have a feeling that there are people around the area that are trying to cash in on the history of ghostly sightings. On a recent episode of a popular paranormal program, the investigators, a very reliable group, investigated an inn in Gettysburg. Now, while one of the investigators slept in his room, a picture frame moved in the background. It got his attention and got mine as well. Now, the investigator quickly got out of bed and he examined the picture frame, and he didn't find any strings or magnets attached to it that could have slid it back. But something still didn't look right to me, so I put it to the test. As you can tell from the audio, I'm not using top-of-the-line equipment here. I do this for 2 reasons. The first, I can't afford it. I'm not getting paid for doing this. The second is to demonstrate just how easy it is to fabricate evidence by just using a simple digital camera and everyday items. I shoot all my videos alone using just this one camera. No one is ever off frame, and the only props I'll ever use are safety pins. These little eye screws here, some rope, fishing line, and most important, your imagination. Unfortunately, I can't show you the original footage. It's owned by the Sci-Fi Channel, but I'll do my best to set it up for you. It was in a Gettysburg Inn, and there was a chair in the corner of this hotel room that was said to wobble or move. And beside the chair there was a bureau, and it had like a picture frame and some other stuff in a mirror. And while the investigator slept, he set a camera up to watch that chair, but that's when the picture frame moved. So for my demonstration here, I'm going to just use what I have in this room. We'll say the door opens in the middle of the night while people are sleeping, and our picture frame will be here. Moved. When the picture frame moved, it slid back in a way like this. Now that's an easy trick to pull off with just a little fishing line attached to the back here. But when the investigator got up out of bed and he checked all around, he didn't find any fishing line, didn't find any magnets, no tampering at all. Now, if the picture frame moved this way, forward, I would have a little bit harder time recreating this video because you'd see the fishing line up here on the tabletop. But because it did slide back like this, it only took me a few tries to fabricate a possible explanation. Now the toughest part of this trick is how do you get something to move while someone's in the room and then within seconds remove all evidence of tampering. Say if you tie a fishing line to the corner of the picture frame or to the stand, of course they're going to see it. But take a look at this. Now I'm going to use some pretty thick fishing line here. And that's just so you can see it on camera. This trick could be done easily with a lot thinner. Now, of course, I'm not going to tie this to the corner of the picture frame or even loop it around and tie it off in a knot. So if we do that, we're just going to be dragging the picture frame around, and you got your evidence right there of tampering. But what I found out is if you just take the fishing line and kind of just gently loop it around, don't tie it off, just kind of pinch the loose end in your fingers there when you're out of the area. And you give it one tug, it's going to move the picture frame. Then you release that end, and you give it another tug, that fishing line pulls away, removing all evidence. For this exercise, let's just say I'm a hotel owner, and I've just invited the most popular, well-respected paranormal investigation team to my place to check it out. And I want to be certified as haunted, because that's going to fill some rooms. So the first thing I would do is set up the backstories. I'd go on and on about how this door opens in the middle of the night and a shadowy figure in a top hat walks out. So that would put all the focus of the cameras on this door, and maybe they might not pay attention to the other stuff around it. And then I could set up, say, my picture frame for one, take the fishing line, tie it around it, and then if I had a hole in the floor, string the fishing line down through that, and then I'd have a nice setup either in the basement or the room below or an adjoining room. Then all I have to do is like wait for the investigator to go to sleep, so the lights go out, give it a few minutes, and then give it a quick tug. Investigator jumps out of bed, I pull the line, no evidence, and I'm haunted. Now, is this what happened in Gettysburg? They will never know, but it could have happened that way. And that's all I ask when you look at these videos and photographs on the web. Ask yourself the question, could it be anything else? Did it really happen? Did you just want it to happen? Or did someone make it happen? Say, hunt for ghosts in the dark, but not in complete darkness. Is there anybody in here with me? Were you stationed here? My name is Patrick Doyle. I'm a civilian writer, so if you have a story, I'd love to hear it. Can you start with your name? So I have to apologize. I really can't hear you. Could you step a little closer to this thing in my hand and say a little louder for me, please? Now, did you die here? What was that? Thought I heard something over there.
On the next Haunted Hoax. Are these ghosts captured on film? Or a fabricated hoax? We'll examine these and others during my stay in a not-so-haunted hotel.